Everyone here, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. I almost said Destiny 2. No, this is a different game. This is Division 2. And in this video, I'm going to be kind of going back over that ongoing directive build I kind of half-assed put together. I guess a couple months ago, before episode 2 came out, I kind of said this is like your must-get build for TU6 in episode 2. Which still stands, by the way. I still think this is a must-get build. This thing shreds in PvP, it shreds in PvE. Agents hate him. It's an ongoing directive bleed build. Emphasis on the bleed, because everything around this build is about bleed. So let's just get into the build, why don't we? I'm running survivalist like I always do. I'm a survivalist main. I use it almost exclusively. I'm working on my demolitions to level it up, and I almost have gunner unlocked. But a very big part of this is that actually the bolts, when they explode, cause bleed damage. Meaning you have that bleed already, and you already do 25% more bleed damage because of ongoing directive. I'll get into that in a bit, but I'm assuming everyone knows about ongoing directive at this point. It's a very strong gear set, which I love. I absolutely second favorite gear set. Probably right behind this bad boy right here, tip of the spear. You will see a build on that sometime soon. I'm still figuring it out. I got an app or a website up open right now. It's gonna help me go over my stats on my build, but it's what I use to make my builds. I might put a link in the description if I remember. But yeah, let's get into it. My first piece of gear is a FAMAS. Shocking, I know, it's meta. But it's a FAMAS with 14.8k roll. This is the highest roll I've gotten. I don't know if you can get higher. I bet you could get higher. I just haven't gotten higher. I have Sadist down here, obviously for the bleeding. This is literally just like my pyro, but it's for bleeding enemies. I don't know if there's a named gun out there that is like perfectly Sadist or something. I don't think there is. I hope there will be next episode, because if there is, this build just got a whole lot better, and you will see that on my Instagram right away. But yeah, okay, so Sadist deal 30% weapon damage to bleeding enemies. After 3 kills, applies bleed to the next enemy you hit. AKA, you're just bleeding. That's literally going to be this entire video. I have Allegro on there, because as if it couldn't already shoot fast enough, it's shooting it even faster. My holstered is actually a really good one. I actually got this on the gun. Obviously, I modified Allegro because I didn't have it on there. I didn't know that this was actually on my gun until I started going to this website. But protected deploy while equipped, this weapon grants plus 10% bonus armor while deploying a skill. You're using skills a lot on this build. I'll get into it a little bit on why this build isn't actually finished yet. It's literally only one piece that needs to be upgraded. Maybe 2. And it's not even a piece itself, it's just a stat that needs to be recaled a little higher. But it's what I want right now. And secondary I'm using is the exotic weapon Merciless. Everyone knows how much I love this gun. We're not using this at all, really. We're going to be using the FAMAS the most. The reason we're using this fully is for its holstered perk, Brutally. While holstered landed, a shot has a 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage. And I'll get into that why exactly we want to be using this, why the holster perk is so good, when we get to my chest piece. No, sorry, backpack. And then the sidearm doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters about this sidearm is I have protected reload for that 10% bonus armor while we're loading. That's important. On to the armor pieces. First off, we have our first piece of our gear set, Ongoing Directive. This is one I want to upgrade the skill power on to be a little higher, possibly around 300 to 400. I don't think I have one with 300 to 400 on me right now, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But let me just go over Ongoing Directive quick. If you don't know what it is, the 2-piece gives you 25% bleed damage. That's what this build is all around, like I said. The 3-piece gives you emergency requisition. Basically, combat resources within 40 meters of you just gets collected when you reload your gun. The 4-piece is the right tool. This is actually very good because in PvE wise you want to run the 4-piece because you can basically have infinite explosive ammo. You could run the 4-piece in PvP. I prefer not to. I don't think it's that needed. I mean, it does pair well with my backpack, but I'm not gonna. It's not gonna happen much. I already have the Merciless proccing all the time, and I have a Seeker Mine as well that procs it all the time. So, but yeah, you kill an enemy affected by a status drop. A status effect drops explosive special ammo. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the build. So I do recommend running the 4-piece. The only reason I'm not running the 4-piece is because my chest piece is very good, and it really goes into this build and how good it is. So the attributes, I have 176 skill power. Like I said, I want to get that up. The 41% damage to elites. That's just for PvE. Doesn't really matter. You can have it lower. I recommend having it higher. Obviously, you always want to have it higher. That was a stupid comment. The mod I'm running is a 2% weapon damage with 4% rifle damage, just in case you do need to use the Merciless. And the LMG damage doesn't really matter. That's the first piece. The second piece is the holster. I'm going to do all the gear sets first, because my three non-gear set items are actually very important for this build. So the first I'm running is another one I'm still going to upgrade. It is the holster. It has 25% skill haste and 388 skill power. 50 sometime soon. For now, I'll stick with 655 to get my skill power up even higher. The offensive mod I'm running 2. I'm running 1.5 weapon damage, an increase of 3% optimal range. I'm going to be changing that one out once I get a better one. I'm hoping to get a 2% with maybe some 1% damage to armor. And then my second one I'm running is 2% weapon damage, just for the flat out weapon damage increase. Always want to get more. The two other ones don't matter. The next piece is my knee pads. Still ongoing directive, so you still got that going. Has 372 skill power. Do I want to upgrade it even more? Yes, obviously I do. Do I think I need to? No. I ran the numbers. Yes, I know, I'm a nerd. But I ran the numbers on it, and I need at least 350 plus skill power for this build to actually work out as well as it will. So 372 is just good enough. If I need to go higher, I'll go higher. Now we're getting into the important pieces of this build. We'll start out with the gloves. The gloves I'm going to upgrade just a little bit more, from 4% hopefully up to 10%. I have a 10% around here. I do want to keep this glove though. It's for the tip of the spear build, so I'm going to grind out a bit more for gloves. I have a 12% there, but it's on my obliterate build, which is for a different video. I'm not done with that build. That build is a pain in my ass. I only have a 1-piece armor for that build done, and I spent 24 hours grinding for it. So this was going to be a big one. But this thing, like I said, it has AR damage, which is his main thing. I chose Douglas and Harding for the accuracy. I think that's really good to have. It helps you out a bit. I would prefer a second Douglas and Harding just so I can get that 10% critical hit damage. That's always good in PvP. But the main point of this armor piece right here is Wicked. When you apply a status effect to a... wow. English. When you apply a status effect, you gain 15% weapon damage for 20 seconds. You will notice all these perks go hand in hand together. Everything's working together. You're going to have perks going like crazy. It's all about getting this rotation going, where you get one perk going and then you get the rest going. That's all it really is. Next we're going on to one of the most important pieces. The backpack. I have strategic alignment on. That's just because for the perfect spark perk. I'll go over that really quick. It's China Light, so you get that explosive damage that goes along with the Merciless very well. It also would go along with the 4-piece. But in order for this, like I said before, in order for this build to work, I need to sacrifice the 4-piece, which sucks. I've got 5.5% critical hit chance, 25k armor, and 4.5% critical hit damage. The talent is obviously Perfect Spark, damaging enemies with skills or explosives, grant 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's 15% on normal Spark, so it's a pretty big increase. I also have Captive on it, or Capacitive? I think that's how it is, Capacitive. For that 50% increase in skill duration. That's mainly for the Hive. It really works hand in hand. We've got a utility mod slot on it for more skill power and that extra bleed damage, 3% more bleed damage. So with just the mod right there and the ongoing directive, it's 28% bleed damage so far. And this is the piece that I sacrificed. The chest piece I sacrificed for the ongoing directive 4 piece. It's a Fenris perk. Gear set. So you get the increased AR damage already. You've got 6.5% headshot damage with a 7.5% critical hit chance. The armor I did so much math on to try to figure out if I wanted the 16.5% total armor or the 34k armor. The 16.5% total armor would put me at 296k, this put me at 298. So this was a very obvious choice. We have Berserk. This is the reason I wanted to keep this build. I was getting shredded by people with Berserk. I decided to put it on and it absolutely melts. So the Berserk, you could also get Ferocious Calm, or it has Perfect Berserk, but I don't know if you get Hardened along with it. You have to get very lucky. So this one does have Hardened, but I also have Berserk, which has 8% weapon damage for every 20% of max armor depleted. In PvP, you will lose your armor like crazy, so Berserk is a very good perk. Perfect Berserk is even better. So yeah, this is the piece I sacrificed, otherwise I'd be running this piece. I'd probably change out the health to armor. I prefer my armor being higher than my health. It's just a matter of preference. I'd probably put like, I don't know, 30k armor. I got one with a 30k armor somewhere I'd probably put on it. But also the problem is this has insulated, not hardened. If this had hardened and the armor piece, I would potentially use it if I wanted the 4 piece going. But I want this Berserk going for me more of. So yeah, that's the armor pieces. I can tell you my flat out DPS right now. My max DPS I'm going to be doing with this build is 794,000. That's just a flat out mod of DPS I'll be doing. I don't know if that's my burst damage, but it is the damage I'll be running right now. My skill, I'm using the Explosive Seeker Mine just because it applies that bleed status. Every time in conflict I go into an encounter, I am putting my drone out and I'm finding someone. Because you get that bleed effect going, and you also get that skill damage going. So you get that perked. You get that perked. So right here, you have the 15%, and you have the 20%. You already have 35% damage already going for you. Combined with the bleed, you got 65% weapon damage increase. Once you get that Seeker Mine explode on them, they are gone. Even without the perk going, this FAMAS shreds. When you get the perk going and you get Wicked and you get Perfect Spark going at the same time, with Sadist proc, oh my god. It's over. They're dead already. I played a game of Domination earlier today, I was shredding. This build is amazing. Like I said, I prefer a higher skill power. This would be stronger. I'd also have a little bit higher skill haste. But other than that, it's incredible. And then I'm also running the Booster Hive, or the Restore Hive. Just so I like to run with a healing one. And I feel like the Restore is the best one, because you can pick it up and move along. Otherwise I'd run Chem Launcher, or I'd run the Amender Seeker Mine. But obviously I can't do that if I'm running the Explosive. It's a lot of talking. Let's just go over the stats quick. Weapon damage overall is 14k with 10k PvP weapon damage. These I'm not really speccing into too heavily, but I did manage to get up to 40% critical hit damage, which I thought was pretty good. I'm at 62% headshot damage, which I think is very good for a build that's not focused on any kind of headshot damage. I actually didn't go over the mods on my FAMAS. I'll do that at the end. My reload speed bonus is going to be down because of one of the mods. You can see right there, it's my Sturdy Extended 5.56. So I have my rounds in the mag and my melting. The Douglas and Harding gives me that 5% accuracy. I have 0 stability, so yikes. So my overall AR damage is 29%. My overall all weapons damage bonus is 7.5%. That's not including when all the perks are procced. This build is all about getting those perks going. If I could upgrade my weapon damage bonus, that'd be very nice, but I obviously can't. This is going to go up soon to at least 40%. So that's going to be very good. This build isn't even fully optimized, and it's shredding like this. And I wanted to show you guys this build because I think it's very good. None of this stuff matters. Damage to elites is by 1. My hazard protection is not that good. which I know I have 0%. It's horrible. And I know hazard protection is very important in PvP right now, because you got that bleed, you got all these burn people. I do have 50% pulse resistance, but that's from my specialist. Pulses are very common now, also, and my explosive resistance is not that good either. So overall, I'm very squishy. I'm very squishy, but that's the point. I want to lose my armor quick so I can put out more DPS. But yeah, that's really the build. My PvP damage is up to 73,000, which I think is very good. But, oh wait, oh that's my secret mine. Haha, just kidding. But yeah, no, that's the build for you guys. I'm not going to show any gameplay of it. I'm actually going to upload it. I'm legit going to upload a video of me using it in conflict. I'm also going to stream with it a lot. This is a build I love a lot. This is my pyro build. I don't care about your backup request. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, I really appreciate you coming out and watching the video. Go ahead and grind out this build. I think it's worth it. I think once the new Gear 2.0 comes out, I'm going to go back and rebuild this build, and make it even more optimized so that it shreds even more in PvP. So yeah, you guys have a great one, and take care, agents.